Hi everyone, it's Ileana and I have a card share for you today, and I'll be using this awesome kit that Jennifer McGuire sent me. I was utterly surprised when my daughter brought it to me, and I knew she'd asked me for my address, but I thought she was just going to send me a card. So I was really surprised when I did get it. And so this box just contains some goodies to send cards to people, and you could decorate them more or you can just send them as is because they're really pretty and they have the gold foiling on them. I think these have silver. And I got the stamp set, and that's what I'm going to be working with today. I'm going to be working with the Hero Art stamp set called Acts of Kindness. And from what I understand, the proceeds from the sale of this stamp set will go towards the kindness campaign. I believe it's 25% goes towards the kindness campaign. So I'm just starting with a piece of cardstock, and it is the second largest rectangle in the stitch rectangle set from Lawn Fawn, and it looks like it measures 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm just using my Memento ink to stamp the sentiment in the bottom right hand corner. And the sentiment says, throw kindness around like confetti. And so what I wanted to do was to create a confetti background. And I tried using a stamp set and it was kind of meh. So I decided to use the snowflake stencil from Simon Says Stamps. And instead of using it for snow, I decided to make confetti out of it. So I am adhering my cardstock down with some washing tape and also the stencil so that it doesn't move. And I'm taking 3 small scoops of Wendy Vecchi's embossing paste, and then I'm adding a couple of drops of re-inker to each one. And I do the lightest one first so that if I get the darker colors on top, you won't be able to see it. And so I'm just kind of smearing it around just to different parts of the stencil. And now I'm going to be using the, this one's Paper Tray Ink Raspberry Fizz. The yellow was Distress Ink, and it was the Squeezed Lemonade. Now, if you don't have the rich razzleberry, you could substitute like the Melon Mambo or the picked raspberry. Those are all pretty much the same kind of pink, and those are, 3 of my favorite pinks. The blue is the Hawaiian Shores, but you could substitute the peacock feathers or any other kind of a turquoisey. Any combination of colors would be fine. I just picked these because these are my favorite. And so I'm just smearing it around in different parts. And then what I actually do is I take the different colors and I actually blend them together to create 2 other colors. So by mixing some of the yellow and the Hawaiian Shores, I can get a green. And by mixing the raspberry, the Raspberry Fizz and the Hawaiian Shores, I can get a green. And so I just kind of use those to fill in the spots where I had gaps. And I really can't go back and like smear it off because then all the colors will all mush together and make a hot mess. So I did go back and I mixed some more of the colors, and I actually made 4 of these cards. And so it was a little tedious having to clean off the stencil after each one, but it went by fast. And I think the texture of the card came out really cool. It's one of those cards where the recipient will say, well, how did you do that? So I'm removing the washi, and here is where I rip it. And so there's no fixing it, and I wasn't going to start over. And so I just set it aside to dry. And then I take a nail file and I'm just going to rub it a little bit so it's not so obvious. And then I'll take my eraser and just try to smooth it out a little bit, and you can't even tell. It probably wouldn't have happened if I would have removed some of the sticky on the other pieces. I did it with the first piece, but not the second one. Now for the base of my card, I'm going to use a new Hero Arts background, and it's called Candy Stripes Bold Prints. And I'm adhering my card front, I'm sorry, not my card front, my card base to the MISTI using some Post-it tape, and then I am going to add some removable adhesive to the inside so that it stays closed as I'm working on it. I'm using my Versamark to ink up my background stamp, and I like to tape my project down when I'm using the background stamps because I can never get a clean image on the first one. There's just always a spot where I forget to press or forget to ink, or I don't get enough ink, and so I like to be able to just re-ink and close the lid of my MISTI again. And once that's all done, I'm going to take some embossing powder, and it's the iridescent ice, I think that's what it's called, from Stampin' Up. And I wanted something that was a little sparkle because my other one was pretty much used up. So I have been trying some new embossing powders to see which one I like the best. And this one's kind of really sparkly. And so I'm going to go ahead and emboss that. And I didn't bother putting any powder in the middle because it's just going to get covered up. And I'm just going to use some 3M tape, the foam adhesive. And I didn't use my foam just because this was handy. And there are my 4 cards. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure you head on over to Jennifer's website to learn about the kindness campaign. Have a great day.